What's up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today is more weekly pick'em. It's week 4, this is week 4 in the NFL. We have some COVID concerns happening with the Steelers and the Titans game. As of right now, it's been postponed. It's not going to be played on Sunday, but it's 90% sure going to be played on Monday or Tuesday, and they have not said what players have COVID and what coaches have COVID yet on the Titans. So we're just waiting out to see who that is. But if it's no significant players for the Titans, that's not really going to change my pick for the game. So we're going to start off with the Toilet Bowl. We got the Jets and the Broncos.
The winless Denver Broncos.
We got Jets and Broncos. I can't pick the Jets to win. From what I've seen from them, they're terrible. They're trash. The Broncos have at least given a couple teams good games. They almost beat the Steelers, and the Steelers are top 5 team in the NFL. So I'm gonna have to go with I'm pretty sure the Broncos played Tennessee really close week 1 too, and I'm a huge fan of Tennessee. So I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos. I don't know who they have at quarterback. It doesn't really matter. The Jets have Darnold at quarterback, and they don't have any offensive weapons whatsoever. Their leading rushers Frank Gore, and their leading receivers some slot receiver that I've never heard of before in my life. So I'm taking the Broncos even without a quarterback. I think Melvin Gordon should be able to personally carry them to a win tomorrow on Thursday Night Football, but I'm going to say 17-10, 17-7. It's going to be like a 1-2 score game, but I don't think the Jets can win. They'll win like 2 games maximum. All right, Baltimore Ravens versus Washington Football Team.
Baltimore.
It all depends on this right here. Washington Football Team injury report. Week 3. Okay, it's not even updated, so I don't really know what their injuries are. I'm just going to have to go out and say I think the Ravens are going to win. Last week, Washington didn't look that good against the Browns. Their defensive line looked really good. What's the name of the Jonathan Allen looked really good. Montez Sweat looked really good. Chase Young left the game early. Ryan Kerrigan didn't play that good. They lost Indiotis at defensive tackle also. So the defensive line is the best part about this team, and they're banged up. Dwayne Haskins struggled. If you get in his head, he's not going to perform well. So, I mean, the Ravens are going to they're going to look to bounce back after that embarrassing loss to the Chiefs. It wasn't that embarrassing. They kind of made it close at the end, but most of the game was 75% of it was embarrassing for Baltimore. So I'm going to say the Ravens come back, bounce back, win by 14. Lamar's going to have a big game. I'm not really high on Mark Ingram at all. I like Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins more than Ingram. I think Lamar's going to come back and light it up. They're going to win like 40-20, 40-17. It's going to be bad. I think it's going to be a slaughter. Chargers and Buccaneers. Oh, this is a good one.
The Chargers.
This is a good one. Oh, what are the rankings looking like? Dang, I didn't know the Buccaneers defense was the real deal. I'm high. I'm high on the Chargers defense. Even though Chris Harris just got injured, I'm taking the Chargers. I think it's been going too smoothly for the Buccaneers. They're 2-1. They only lost to the Saints, who don't even look that good. I'm gonna go in with the Chargers. Guessing Tyrod Taylor's not playing again. Herbert has to be starting. There's no way Herbert's not starting. I'm pretty sure he is. If I'm not, then Tampa Bay is gonna win. But if Herbert starts, I'm guessing he is because Tyrod has a punctured lung. So I really like Los Angeles' defense. The offense has looked completely different with Herbert over Tyrod. Keenan Allen's getting involved. Eckler's getting more involved. Mike Williams gets more involved. Hunter Henry gets more involved. The whole offense looks different with Herbert in the game. So I'm going Chargers. I think Chargers win by 3. I think the Chargers are going to win by 3 over Tampa Bay. We got Seattle and Miami. Seattle. This is I don't even have to explain. Seattle's going to slaughter the Dolphins. The Dolphins secondary's beat up. Byron Jones has been fighting injuries the whole year. Xavier Howard's been fighting injuries the whole year. They're pretty thin at almost every other position outside of the secondary, so I like 26th, 25th, 25th. They're not looking good. Seattle's passing offense is unstoppable. DK Metcalf is going to have a huge day. Start DK Metcalf if you have him in fantasy. Start Tyler Lockett if you have him in fantasy. Start Russell Wilson if you have him in fantasy. I don't know about the Chris Carson injury yet, so yeah, Seattle's going to slaughter them. It's going to be like at least a 3-score win for Seattle. Okay, we got Minnesota and Houston. I think Houston wins this. The Texans are hungry for a win. Their 3 losses, it came against the Ravens, the Chiefs, and the Steelers. Those are 3 contenders for the Super Bowl. I don't know if the Steelers are Super Bowl contenders. They're going to make the playoffs. I think the Steelers will make the playoffs, but I don't think they're contending for a Super Bowl. So the Texans have lost 3 games that they had very little chance of winning. I don't think they're really contending right now with what their offense looks like. Will Fuller still needs to learn to be a number 1 receiver and stay healthy for the whole year. David Johnson needs to learn how to stay healthy for the full year. Deshaun Watson's a stud. Their defense is a little bit above average. The Vikings look bad this year. I have nothing good to say about the Vikings. They almost won last week, but didn't. Stefanski leading Minnesota, they look like a whole different team. So I'm going Houston. I think Houston wins by 10, gets on the board with their first win of the year. Saints-Lions. I don't think the Lions have been playing bad football this year, but I think New Orleans has been, and they still haven't looked that bad. Kamara is a beast. Michael Thomas might be coming back this week. I don't think he is, though. Drew Brees looks washed. I hate to say it. Sorry, Saints fans who are watching this video. Drew Brees looks old. He looks washed. His arm strength looks like it's gone. I don't know if he throws a Kamara 80 times a game because he likes it or because that's what the only thing his arm allows him to do. But Saints, their defensive line is the real deal. Their secondary could get better, but they have the talent in the secondary. They're just not showing up. Their linebacking core is the real deal. Their defense is good. I like the Saints defense. They just allow too many points. They have the talent on the defense. They just have to not allow that many points, and they'll be fine. Kamara's going to he's going to lead the offense to at least 3 or 4 touchdowns a game, so the defense just needs to be average. They have the talent to be a top 5 defense in the league, but they just allow so many points. But also they played Las Vegas, Tampa Bay, and Green Bay. So I think that their defense I think their defense comes out of their shell this week. They shut the Lions to 10 or under points, and they're going to score 24 plus. I think Saints win this by a lot and get to 500 on the year. Browns Cowboys. Okay, so this pick is probably going to make a lot of people mad. I'm a Browns fan. I'm not picking against the Browns, seeing how the Cowboys have been playing. Their defense looks horrible. Their secondary looks terrible. Their linebacking core is injured. Jalen Smith is the only healthy linebacker that they have. Leighton Vander Esch broke his collarbone earlier in the year. Their defensive line, DeMarcus Lawrence is injured. He didn't practice today. I've been watching the injury reports. Trayvon Diggs, I believe, is a little bit dinged up, who's their number 1 corner, I believe. And Aldon Smith is having a comeback kind of year, so he's the only one on the line we have to really worry about and game plan around. I think this could possibly be a shootout if our defense looks rusty. I think there is a possibility that our defense could come out fired up after the 5-turnover game last week against Washington. B.J. Goodson looked fired up. Mac Wilson came back. Didn't play that much. Kevin Johnson came back. Denzel Ward sat out the second half. He should be back to almost 100%. Taking it easy in practice this week. Olivier Vernon's limited in practice. Kareem Hunt sat out. We're resting a bunch of people. I'm not concerned about any of the people who didn't practice today. I think Olivier Vernon might be back this week. Adrian Claiborne should play. This Browns defense could come out of their shell this week. We might be back at full strength with Phillips back in the lineup, Mack back in the lineup, Ward back in the lineup, Greedy back in the lineup, Kevin Johnson back in the lineup. This Browns defense could be at 100% on Sunday. There's a small chance of it, and we really need it to happen to shut down this Cowboys offense. Their offense is the real deal. Dak looks good. Zeke looks good. Gallup looks good. Amari Cooper doesn't. He gets his head out of the game. That's the one thing with Cooper. I don't want to go in detail too much about this game because I'm gonna do something, another kind of video on my channel about it. So I'm taking the Browns. I think the Browns win by 10. Defense comes out of their shell this week. Browns by 10. What do we got next? We got the Bengals and the Jags. I don't like what I see from the Jags. I think Minshew's inconsistent. I think Cincinnati's defensive line is getting itself back to health. They almost beat the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a better team than Jacksonville. I'm going with the Bengals this week. Joe Burrow gets his first win. What else are we working with here? Colts, Bears. I like the Colts. I really do, but I'm not picking against the Bears. I'm a big fan of the Bears defense. I'm a big fan of Nick Foles. I'm a big fan of Allen Robinson. I like Jimmy Graham and Komet. I think the Bears have a potential to be a really good offense, and with Anthony Miller coming out of his shell. Nick Foles looked great. He came back. He rallied the team. Like, look at that. 188 yards, 3 touchdowns, over 80 passer rating, 95 passer rating. You see, in the one interception could have been a touchdown. Like, it was a 50-50 ball. Nick Foles looked great. I'm taking Chicago over the Colts by 10. I don't think this is even going to be a close game. Colts defense has all the hype right now. Calm down. They played the Jets. TJ Carey's not a good cornerback. Xavier Rhodes is a little bit washed. I still think Xavier Rhodes could be a top 10 corner in the league, but calm down with the TJ Carey hype. Colts lose by 10. We got the Cardinals and the Panthers. I like what the Panthers are doing with the rebuild. No C-Mac though. I think the Cardinals should have beat the Lions last week. Kyler didn't play good. I think Kyler's a bounce back game. Kenyon Drake might find his groove against this Carolina defense. I think the Cardinals win this by 14. I don't think this is going to be a close game. Giants Rams. This is going to be a blowout. The Giants have looked terrible. They played an injury beaten San Francisco 49ers team and did not even make them punt the ball once. Not once. They didn't punt against an injury riddled 49ers team. They dropped like 36 or 40 points on them, and they scored 6. Daniel Jones looks terrible. Saquon Barkley out for the season. They bring in Devontae Freeman at running back. Nothing against Devontae Freeman. I like Devontae Freeman, but what's he going to do behind that line that Barkley could not do? I'm a big Slayton fan. I don't think Daniel Jones can get him the ball. The Rams look like one of the better coached teams in the league. We all knew that. McVay's one of the best coaches. Their defense looks good. Their offense looks good. I think the Rams are going to come in here and win by 25 plus points. This is going to be a slaughter. The Giants are terrible once again. Here we go. Bills, Raiders. I love the Bills. I like how Josh Allen's playing. I like Stephon Diggs. I like their defense. The Raiders, I'm big on the Raiders too. Like these are two teams that I really hope end up doing good if the Browns aren't competing. They're both teams that have been bad for a while, and now they're starting to be good. So I'm going to root for those kind of teams. I don't think the Raiders win this. After what Buffalo showed last week, how they came back after giving up a huge lead against one of the best coached teams in the Rams, Josh Allen showed that he has that clutch. He's got that ice water in his veins, drove him right down the field. The refs might have helped him out a little bit on that last drive, but Stephon Diggs is going to go off against this Raiders secondary. They don't have a solid number one corner. They have Abram in the secondary. That's about it. This Raiders defense doesn't look very good, but their offense is good. But I think the Bills will be able to contain them enough. I say Bills by 7. All right, here we go. Chiefs, Patriots. The Cam Newton hype train is going to get shut down this week, just like it did in Seattle. Kansas City just slaughtered Baltimore, who I think is the second best team in the AFC. Kansas City's the best team in the league by far, I think. I don't think it's even close right now. The only team that's close is Seattle, and they already beat the Patriots. And Seattle doesn't really blow people out. They stick around, and then they win in the end by being more disciplined and making smarter plays. Kansas City comes out. They're going to destroy the Patriots, I think. I don't think Cam's going to be able to live up to this hype. He's getting cocky. He's starting to showboat a lot. I don't like this Cam Newton. I like how he's playing. I don't think he's going to continue playing like this, especially when he gets down a lot to the Chiefs, because I don't think that any defense in the league can slow down the Chiefs with how their offense is. Their offense is just a cheat code. Anyone who's watched the Chiefs just knows that. They're unstoppable. Other than the Chargers. The Chargers slowed them down. That's why I love the Chargers defense. I've said that the whole year. But I think the Chiefs win this by 14. I don't think that the Patriots are going to be able to keep up with them this early in the season. And if they do, they're going to catch up slowly by Belichick coaching them. All right, we've got the Eagles and the 49ers. The 49ers surprised me last week. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not going to pick them this week. I think Wentz has a bounce back game. They're not benching him. Wentz knows he's there to stay, but he's going to come out. He's going to have a statement game against the 49ers. Injury-riddled defense. This Eagles pass rush is going to get to Nick Mullen, and he's not going to know what to do. I think the Eagles get their first win of the year. They should have had it last week against Cincinnati. They played terrible. I think the Eagles win this by 3. I think the Eagles win by 3. Falcons Packers. I think this is not going to be a close game. The Falcons. I think the Falcons are a lot better than what the record says they are. They've blown all the games this year. They should be 2-0 or 2-1. I mean, Seattle beat them. They blew it against the Cowboys. They blew it against the Bears. The Packers have the best or second best offense in the league. They're scoring 35 plus a week with no, like, it's not even a challenge. They're scoring that easily. The last 2 weeks have been without Devontae Adams, and they've scored like 37 and 38 points. This Packers offense is scary, and their defense is scary too. Aaron Rodgers is having an MVP type year if Russ doesn't continue playing how he does. Aaron Jones is proving that he's a top 10 running back in the league. Devontae Adams should be coming back this week. Lazard looks good. MVS looks good. Tanyan looks good. Their defense looks good. The offensive line looks good. The Packers could win the Super Bowl this year. Packers by 17 over the Falcons. The Falcons could come out and they could go up 21-0. They'll still lose. And we have the to-be-determined game. Okay, I'm going to say this now, okay? I think if the Titans don't have any main players who have COVID, they haven't said who it is yet. If it's not the main players of the team, I think they beat the Steelers. I think the Steelers are not as good as everyone thinks they are. Obviously, it's a little Browns fans biased, but I really don't think they are. I don't think their offense is that good. I think their defensive line's good. Their secondary is not. Their linebackers are young. They're going to make mistakes in high-pressure games. The Titans are very well coached. Vrabel has that team looking way better than what they should be. Tannehill, he has Tannehill looking like a Pro Bowl quarterback when he was a bum his whole career. Tannehill is a beast now. Derrick Henry's going to get his yards. I'm not sure what A.J. Brown's injury status is. Jonnu Smith is a top 5 tight end in the league. No one will tell me otherwise. Their defense looks good. I'm a big Titans fan. I like the Titans a lot. I think the Titans win this by 10 if none of their players have COVID-19. So, guessing this game is played on Monday or Tuesday. I'm guessing Monday. That's just what I think. I don't think they'll move it to Tuesday. Everyone wants it on Monday. What if they're gonna? I don't think they're gonna cancel it. I think they're gonna play no matter what. They're just gonna get the COVID people out, put them in quarantine, and just play the game. So that's gonna wrap it up for this video. Weekly pick'em, week 3. I don't know what my record was last week. Let me look at the. Let's look at who did I pick. I picked. Okay, so that's 1-1 after these 2 games. That's a tie. I picked the Bengals to win that. I think that's 1-2. Dang, I was 1-3. 2-3, 3-3, 4-3, 5-3. I think. 5-4, 6-4, 7-4, 8-4, 8-5. 9-5 and 10-5. So I got majority of the games right last week, guessing that's who I picked. I'm not going to go back and watch the whole video through. I'm going to write down my picks that I made today, just so I can go back and actually see it. But guessing, I think I went 10-5-1 in that last week, which I think is pretty good for my first week of doing predictions. Let's see what this week brings us. Go Browns. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. Drop a comment down below if you disagree with what I said, or if you think anything different. I want to hear you guys' opinions on if you think I said anything wrong. Subscribe if you're new for more football videos. I also make Madden videos. I'm going to be doing fantasy videos and Browns coverage in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.